Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hector Dominguez, and I'm here on behalf of the Cook County Assessor's Office. We have a special day today. We're going to be talking about Palatine Township. Now, some of you all who are watching this may have been with me last week when we were doing this live and in person. So, what I would like to do now is just remind you guys, let's do it. Palatine. You guys have 2 more days to appeal, so let's go ahead and get it in. The responsibilities of the assessor's office, I know you've heard me say this a million different times, but it's okay because we might have someone here who this might be their first time watching us or their first time tuning in, or they may have just purchased a property in this area. So we want to go ahead and just tackle all these things right now. So very quickly, we have lots of different responsibilities, but the ones I want to highlight here is our job to set a fair and accurate value to almost 2 million different properties in Cook County. The way we do this is not by pulling a number out of a hat or anything like that. It's not an individual basis, but we're using a mass appraisal system. It is also our job to make sure you are receiving your discounts, also known as your exemptions, right? We're talking the homeowner exemption, senior freeze, disabled person, all of those, right? We're going to talk about those later as well. Here's what we're not responsible for. We're not responsible for the tax levy or the tax rates, right? That's your specific township. We're not responsible for the state equalizer, that is the Department of Revenue. We are not responsible for issuing or collecting your tax money or tax bills. That is the Cook County Treasurer's Office. So I just want to make that clear. We did this last week, and that was a very common question at the event we did in person. So I definitely just want to make sure we say that. Now, the triennial reassessment. Guys, every 3 years, properties are reassessed. This is just how we're able to properly and fairly assess property in the entire county of Cook, right? We want to make sure everyone is well aware that your deadline, your specific deadline for Palatine Township is September 23rd. Guys, that's in 2 days. That's Friday. Okay? So please, you have 2 days to go ahead and file this appeal. Hopefully, after our session today, you are able to do this on your own. But even if you're not, you can still replay this while you're doing yours live as well. So we're definitely going to do this. And fun fact, Palatine was reassessed in 2019, so you guys are up for it this year. Excuse me, let me close that. What you're looking at right here is a reassessment notice. If you are in Palatine Township, this is what you should have received. This residential reassessment notice is not a tax bill. It is not a tax bill. It is not a tax bill. This is important, however, because it has your market value, has your PIN number. Excuse me one second. It has your neighborhood code, your characteristics, your reassessment value, all of those things. Very important things you're going to need to file an appeal later. This is a tax bill. Right? You get 2 of these a year. You get a blue one when it's cold outside. That's your first installment tax bill. It doesn't have any discounts on it, right? It's just 55% of last year's entire bill. That's it. The one you're looking at is yellow for when it's warm outside. This one is late this year. We are estimating that it would be mailed out by the Treasurer's Office sometime in November, trying to make it due before December 31st. Sorry, I was going to say January 1, but that's not true. The yellow bill, the one that comes out when it's warm outside, has your discounts on it. So we've focused on the bottom left-hand corner where it says tax calculator. Here is where you'll see your homeowner exemption, your senior exemption, your senior freeze. All of your other discounts will be listed right here. Now, reasons for appealing. You have to have a reason why you want to appeal, right? I know it's easy to say, well, I'm going to appeal because my neighbor told me to appeal. That's cool. That's fun. That's awesome. However, you need a reason why. Now, legally, I can't tell you how you should appeal, but I can tell you the 3 most common reasons why taxpayers appeal. So the first one is lack of uniformity. That just means you and I live in the same area, same block, same size house, same construction type, same everything. And for whatever reason, our values are different, which means our tax bills are different. And I want to know why. The next one is overvaluation. That's probably everybody here. There's no way my house is worth this much. If it was, then I would sell it to you right now, right? That's probably everybody here. The next one, or the last of the most common reasons why someone would file an appeal, is incorrect property description or property description error. That just means there's a factual error, right? That means our office says you have a property with 3,000 square feet, but you really have 1,300. Or we say you have a condo, but you really have a single family home, right? There's a factual error. You can also check your property characteristics on our website at cookcountyassessor.com/address-search. Or you can put in your PIN number, or you can put in your address. But all of this information is made available to you as well. Here you can find the description of your property, the use, the construction type, all of that information can be listed right here. If these are incorrect, you can definitely change them when you appeal, and I will be showing you how to do that shortly. So some valuation report numbers, right? Let's give you some information. Let's give you some data for those of you who are data driven, right? If you have a single family home, that means in Palatine Township, the average or the median, same thing, of those properties are $350,000, right? That's the value based on the mass appraisal system. If you have a condo, that median or average is $147,000, and then if you have a multifamily home, that median or average price is $590,000. So now let's take a second and think. You have your reassessment notice hopefully in front of you, or you can go get it. If you have a single family home and your value of your reassessment is close to $350,000, within like 10%, you're kind of where you're supposed to be, right? Based on the data. If you have a condo and you're near 147, you're kind of where you're supposed to be based on the data. Same thing for multifamily. Now, however, if you are not near that 350 or that 147 or that 590 and you are way above that, you absolutely want to appeal. I'm the kind of person that I like to look, right? I like to have all the information made available to me so that I can go ahead and make my decision based on the facts or the data that I've looked at. So we have this new tool in our office. You can go to cookcountyassessor.com. For you guys specifically, it's /Palatine-2022-residential. Here you can actually go in, find your specific, sorry, I'm going to have to close out of Teams. Give me 1 second, because it keeps popping up while we're doing this. Here you guys should go into different neighborhoods based on their codes. We're just going to, for example, we're going to use code 10, and you can see the values of those things there as well. My team, I love them. So here you can click on your neighborhood. You can find your neighborhood code. You can compare the values. You can do all of that information here. If your assessment is close to your median value, we already talked about this, you probably don't want to appeal. But, you know, sorry. The process for appealing your assessed value. First, you get a reassessment notice. We already talked about that. It's the black and white application or paper, that comes from our office, the document where it shows you your value, your neighborhood code, all of that information. You get that. Then from there, if you disagree with the value, you can then go ahead and file an appeal. You will need a reason why you're appealing, and I'm going to go over that again in a little bit. But from there, an analyst will then review your appeal and decide if you're going to get a reduction or not. You will get a decision letter. The decision letter will be mailed to you. It'll say, congratulations, we're going to lower your value by such and such amount. Or it's going to say, sorry, due to the uniformity of the neighborhood, we're not going to lower your value. So in order to file an appeal, you just go to cookcountyassessor.com /online-appeals. And from here, you can start your appeal, save your appeal, edit your appeal. You can do everything you want. From here, you can upload additional documentations, pictures, sales analysis, appraisals, whatever you want. You can do all of that here. Just want to remind you guys one more time that Palatine Township closes on the 23rd. That is Friday, so please, let's not wait to the last minute to appeal, guys, please. All right, so in order to appeal, super simple. cookcountyassessor.com, and you want to click the word appeal. You want to click the word appeals right here. And then from here, you're going to pick which type of appeal you want to do. There are multiple. For the most part, we're going to be focusing on residential, condo, co-op, or commercial. But what I'm going to do today is residential. So once you click on residential, you will have to log in, and all you need is a valid email address. Here, you would create an account, happytaxpayer@gmail.com. Go ahead and click login, and then from here, you would just scroll all the way down to the bottom and find Residential Assessment Appeal 2022. Once you click that, you want to begin your filing, and go ahead and put in your PIN number. Once you put in your PIN number and you click search, this will auto-populate for you. This will auto-populate for you. From here, just click on the start filing, and you're ready to begin. You can ignore this statement here. This is for an example I did in Norwood Park, but yours would say Palatine Township activity window. It'll give you your opening date and your closing dates, and just go ahead and click the 2 check boxes, click next, and we're off. So from here, this will auto-populate for you. Just make sure it's correct. Click next, and as you're watching this, also pay attention to the headings, right? We were in activity window. We were just in verifying parcel. Now we're in primary PIN. So as we progress, we're going to be in different window tabs. So just make sure you're paying attention to where we're at. Certificate of error when you're filing an appeal means there's a factual error like we talked about earlier, and you want to correct that, right? So one of them could be the square footage is incorrect, or we were assessing you as a different kind of property, right? You really have a condo, but we've been assessing you as a single family home. If there was a factual error in either 21, 20, 19, or 18, this is where you would let us know. You just check the box that you want us to check, you want us to double check, and click next. Additional pins. This is for anyone who has a prorated property. How do you know if you have a prorated property? You have more than 2 tax bills a year. You have 3, you have 4, you have 5, you have 6, right? If that is you, just go ahead and give us that additional pin. If it is not you, this is irrelevant. You can just go to next. Right. Now we need to know who you are. Are you the filer? Are you the attorney? Whatever that information is, just go ahead and let us know. This can be done by just clicking the hamburger menu, which is the 3 lines. Click there and click the appropriate field and click next. Once you get down there, we need to know the address of the property, so go ahead and fill that information out. Basically, anything with a red star, you have to fill out. Go ahead and fill that out. Once you do that, this will auto-populate again. Just make sure it's correct and click select at the bottom. And then we just click next right here at the bottom right-hand corner. And now for anyone who had a property characteristic issue, right, there was something wrong with your property characteristics, here's where you can fix that as well. So here, this will be auto-populated for you also. But if you know for a fact, hey, my home is not 100 years old, it's actually 140, 150, go ahead and change that. And there's more at the bottom. But if you don't need to change anything, you can just scroll to the bottom and click next. Now, here we need to know, well, you're disagreeing with the value our office gave you, right? So we need to know, what do you think your property is actually worth? Where the red star is, that is where you would tell us, hey, I think my property is worth this amount actually. So go ahead and write that down. And then go ahead and tell us a reason why you are appealing. So lack of uniformity, overvaluation, property description error. We already went over those. But the other ones are building is uninhabitable. That means you physically can't live there. Vacancy, occupancy. That means you have an empty property that you've been trying to rent out or trying to sell. You're going to need to provide proof for that. Building no longer exists, self-explanatory. Fire damage, self-explanatory. And so in this example, I clicked over evaluation, but when you click on any of these reasons, you're going to be given explain your reasoning. Just go ahead and let us know why you believe this. Do you have appraisals? Do you have sales analysis? Do you have comparables? Do you have anything like that? Let us know. Now, underneath there, it says field check. This means you actually want somebody from our office to come out and redraw and remeasure your property. This is a free service. You don't have to pay for this. So just let us know. Click yes or no. Very simple. At the bottom, we need to know what kind of property is this. Is it a single family home? Is it an apartment building with 6 apartments or less? Is it a building with 6 apartments or less? Is it a mixed use? Is it a townhome? You know this information. Go ahead and let us know. Also, yours will be updated because this is an older appeal form, but we'll need to know, did you buy the property before January 1 of 2021 or January 1, 2022? Let us know. Just go ahead and answer all these questions. Now comes the fun part, the comparables. So there are 3 ways you can do this. The first way, go ahead and click on these drop-down arrows and fill out the appropriate field, right? What neighborhood code are you? What's your property class? What township are you in? What year were you born in? Your square footage, all of that information, boom. Once you do that, a list of comparables will be provided for you that you can pick from. However, if you have or if you have a specific property you want us to look at, go ahead and put that information down here below. Give us the exact PIN number. Go ahead and fill that out because maybe you have a specific one you want us to look at. So those are the 2 ways you can you can upload comparables. The third way is unique to you and all the other townships that are not located in the city. You can actually contact your assessor office and use the AIM program, AIM. This program will find comparables for you in literally 2.2 seconds. From there, you can pick which ones are more beneficial for you, and then you can upload those as well. I'm going to show you where to upload them in a second. But once you've picked your comparables using the first 2 options, this is going to pop up. Just go ahead and click on it and make sure that this is the comparable you want to use, right? Just follow the lines. Is it the right PIN number? Is it the right area? Is it the right neighborhood? Is it the right square footage? Is it the right class? All of that information. If it is, click next. If it's not, go back to previous and correct your answer. Here is where you would upload additional documentation like the comparables you got from the AIM program, like pictures, like appraisals, like sales analysis, like a narrative, right? You want to tell us, you want to communicate something to us. This is where you would do that. After that, we need your name again, your phone number, and your email address, and click the word submit. Now, once you click the word submit, a giant submit is going to pop up. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to submit this filing? If the answer is yes, go ahead and click yes. If the answer is no, then the answer is no. However, if you click yes, your submission is complete and you will get a confirmation email. Or a confirmation page, sorry. This is what it would look like. It will say confirmation on it. It'll have your filing ID on it. You will get this information sent to you, but your decision letter, again, will be mailed to you directly, snail mail, right? It won't be emailed. It's not going to be digital. It'll be a paper document that'll be mailed to your address. Now, very quickly, let's go over the exemptions. We have the homeowner, the senior, the veterans with disability, the returning veterans, the persons with disability, the senior freeze, the home improvement, and the long time. These are all different exemptions that can qualify you for discounts if you meet the requirements for them. We're going to have a link for that down low so you can read the requirements for all of them just so that we can stay on topic and be conscious of everybody else's time. If you want to check your exemption history, you can totally do that with our office. Go to cookcountyassessor.com. Put in your PIN number here. You can check your exemption history, your appeal history, your assessment history, read about your assessments, go into all of our data tools. All of that information can be found here, cookcountyassessor.com. Now, so sorry. The deadline for applying for your 2021 exemption was August 26, 2022. That means we're past the deadline. That means soon we're going to be able to file for certificate of errors. Now, we've already talked about certificate of errors, right? Certificate of errors for appeals means there's a factual error we want to fix. Well, a certificate of error with your exemption means, hey guys, I think I qualified for the homeowner last year and I didn't get it. Or, hey guys, maybe I qualified for the senior citizen the last 3 years and I didn't get it. So we have this program, Certificate of Errors, where you're allowed to go back as far as 2018 to recoup and get a refund possibly for any exemption you did not receive. Just freaking awesome. This is what I do when we're not doing these Facebook Lives or these Zooms, right? This is what I do, and people get back thousands of dollars, guys, and it doesn't cost you anything. You just have to contact us directly and have us check for you, or you can go to cookcountyassessor.com and check for yourself. If you want to contact us directly, you can go to 312-443-7550. You can contact us on social media as well by hovering over this QR code. Go ahead and hover over it if you have a Apple phone. That was very old of me. If you have an iPhone, go ahead and hover over that and click on it. If you have a Google phone or an Android phone, you will have to download a QR code reader, but the same thing. From there, you can follow us on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, all of that. You can sign up for our newsletter here. You can stay connected, stay in tune with us. Or if you want to make an in-person appointment, you can make those at our Chicago location, 118 North Clark, our Markham Courthouse location, 16501 South Kedzie, or the Skokie location, 5600 West Old Orchard Road. I'm going to stop sharing my presentation. And then let's get into these questions. So, we have a question here. It says, if I do not see my senior freeze on my bill when I get it, can I bring it into the office and adjust the bill that will reflect my... Listen, Miss Gail, absolutely, right? If you get a tax bill and your exemptions are not applied on it for whatever reason, either you forgot or it got lost in the mail or we fumbled the ball, regardless of whatever the situation is, you can go in, take your tax bill into the assessor's office, file for what's called an adjusted bill. And that will give you, as long as you qualify, will, like right on the spot, you will get what's called an adjusted bill. And that will give you the newly reflected amount that you can then send to your mortgage, or you can go to Chase, or however you pay your taxes. But that's how you can do it. Do my husband and I both have to be 65 to qualify for the senior exemption? He is 65 before I am. Absolutely not, right? The actual law states that it must be owner-occupied by someone who was born in 1956 or before. So as long as one of you all was born in 1956 or before, or whenever you're going to apply, that's all that matters. Doesn't have to be both, just one. What's next? I lived in my house since 2000, never received a homeowner's exemption. Can I apply refunds since 2000? Unfortunately, you cannot. I'm so sorry that this happened. But what you can do is contact our office directly, and we can make sure you're getting it from at least 2018. So 2018, 2019, 2020, and the current. So that's 4 years that we can do this for. We've already answered this one. Let's look at these other questions. I've lived in my house since 1955. Why don't I qualify for the long-time exemption? Great question. So the way the long-time exemption works is, here are the qualifications. Must own and occupy that property for 10 consecutive years. That's requirement number one. Requirement number two is that you do not make more than $100,000 as a total household income. That's requirement number two. Requirement number three is your equalized assessed value. So that's your AV multiplied by the state equalizer must be increasing significantly within those 10 years, depending on where you live at. Unfortunately, only about 2% of the county actually qualifies for the long-time exemption. But if you want to double check our work, which I encourage you to do so, go ahead and contact us directly, cookcountyassessor.com. There's the contact tab, and then under there, just general contact. I'm sure the link will pop up in here somewhere. Actually, let me do that real quick. Let me grab the link. Contact, general contact is cookcountyassessor.com/contact. Here you go. You can send us this question directly, and we can do the math for you. We can double check. Ellen says, field check. Do they measure land or house or come inside to verify features? Great question. So the way your property is assessed is length times width times height, right? For the most part. They don't necessarily have to come inside your home for anything unless there's a very, very specific situation where, I don't know, there's no real reason for them to go into your home, but there have been situations where they had to double check the characteristics of the inside, right? From the outside, it looks like you have a multi-family home, but when you go inside, it's a single family home, right? Something like that. It's not something you need to make an appointment for. It's not something that you need to set up with us. Literally, once you go to your appeal, you check off field check, or I'm sorry, I'm doing a piece of paper on your document. You go ahead and click on field check. They will just come out. They will redraw, remeasure your property, and they will be out of your hair and out of your way. Therese says, secondly, regarding the process of submitting an appeal for a unit in a condo building, would the choice be residential or condo co-op? Good job. So if you have a condo, you want to appeal using the condo co-op application. But this can be a little tricky. So how do you know you have a condo, right? Because I have a townhome, and my townhome has an association. So a lot of people consider it a condo, but it's not, right? So how do you know? The simplest way to know is what are the last four numbers in your PIN number? If they are 0000, that's a residential PIN number. If it ends in, I don't know, 1049 or 2337, something like that, a different arrangement of four numbers, that is considered a condo. That's how you would know. Are there any other questions? What happens if an attorney appeals and you appeal? They will cancel each other out. So I would say this. There is no reason an attorney would be appealing on your behalf unless you've given them authority to do so or you've paid them to do so, unless you're a condo. Most actually, condo associations have an attorney on retainer who does this for them automatically. So I would encourage you, if this is your specific situation, to contact your association and say, hey guys, do we have an attorney doing this? Yes or no? And figure it out that way. Are there any other questions? Let's see. Answered that one. Thank you too, Ms. Gail. Thank you so much. A shout out to the illustrious, the amazing, the incredible communications team. We're all on here. I'll give a shout out to Miss Teresa Chandler. She's in the background today, facilitating all of this, making sure everything goes smooth. Shout out to the rest of our team that's in the comment section answering these questions as well. Teamwork makes the dream work, guys. Very simple. Another question says, I've lived in my home since, we did that one already. But there's a question right here that I see. Chris says, exemptions. We've been told that we can only apply if we lived in the house January 1 of the tax year. Really, people move out throughout the year. Yeah, so that's kind of true. That's a layered question, so let's break it down. Most exemptions require you to own and occupy the property as of January 1 of the taxable year. So what the heck does that mean? We are in 2022. So in order to qualify for most of the exemptions for the 2021 tax year, which is what we're paying right now, you had to have owned and occupied the property on January 1 of 2021. True, people move out of their houses in the middle of the year, but that has nothing to do with the fact that it was occupied January 1 of that year. Now, there are some exemptions that this doesn't pertain to, right? So like the senior citizen exemption, it doesn't matter when you owned and occupied that property. As long as you owned and occupied it within 2021, you will get that exemption. So it's just part of the way the law was written out. What do we have here? Therese says, there a way to check if an appeal has been submitted for a condo building as a whole? There is a way for you to check that. There definitely is. You can contact you can search the PIN number on, okay, so actually you can do it this way. I'm thinking out loud. If your condo building had an appeal filed for it, it was sent in by a person, if it's for the entire building. So I would contact your HOA or your association, whoever is in charge of that, and ask, hey, was there an appeal submitted on behalf of the entire building? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, okay, who did it? Get that information, go ahead and log in and see if that was done or not. The other way you can do it is by contacting our office directly. The link I put in here, I'll put it in again right now. Hey guys, can you tell me, go ahead and click on the link. Hey guys, can you tell me if my condo building has had an appeal filed for the entire building or not? Or you can just go to our website, cookcountyassessor.com, and check that as well. Chris says, can I get a homestead exemption? You probably mean homeowners exemption, because homestead just means exemption. If I moved in August of the tax year. So great question, Chris. So the law says the property must be owner occupied on January 1 of 2021. Assuming you moved in August of 2021, technically you don't qualify. However, if you bought your property from someone who did own and occupy it January 1 of 2021, then yes, your property would qualify for that exemption. So It all depends on how you bought the property and who you bought it from. Are there any other questions? I don't see any other questions. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you guys spending your lunch with me. You literally could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me today. Thank you. I hope you guys have a safe day. And if you're in Palatine, guys, you have 2 more days, actually about a day and a half now, until Friday to file your appeal. Go ahead and get it in. Do not waste your time. And I just hope that everything works out the best for you. So you guys stay wise, stay safe, stay blessed. You guys have a good day.